Awesome. Hello, friends. It is Friday, September 2nd at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, producer of Incandescent Radio and Incandescent TV, and I am thrilled to be here today to introduce today's episode of Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, where for the next 15 minutes, you will learn from Carina Diamond, CXO of Dakota Wealth Management, about making a difference with Diversitas, new ways to expand diversity in wealth management. So take it away, Miss Rita.
Well, thank you so much, Hope and Karina. Welcome, my fellow CFP Board Ambassador. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
So, we are so excited to welcome you and discuss a topic that's really important: diversity, equity, inclusion. So, tell us about Diversitas. Um, you know, how it was founded, how it came about, and all the amazing work you're doing with it.
Sure, love to. So, Diversitas is a program that started at the University of Akron, which is here in my town. And it was designed to really originally get more women and then people of color into financial services, wealth management, financial planning at large. So, we started, it's hard to believe, 6 years ago. And we started as a seminar, and we were targeting students and career influencers. So that would be guidance counselors, teachers, superintendents, and then also the advisor community. And we didn't really know what we were doing then, but we knew that we had a really great concept, and the program has grown considerably. It really blew up a few years ago in a good way during the pandemic when we went virtual. So it's a series of programs. So it's interviews, it's panels, it's experts that are talking about all aspects of diversity in wealth management. So how do we get more women, people of color, gay people into the business? But it's also educational in the sense of what is wealth management and what is financial planning? It's not all numbers, it's not all math, it's not all selling. We found there were so many misconceptions that actually kept women away, as well as other minorities away from the profession. So it's a little bit of everything, kind of teaching about what the scope of wealth management is, and then also really how do you get more people into wealth management.
Thank you for that. And I love the term that you used, career influencers. When we hear influencer, we're thinking that they have a strong social media presence on TikTok or Instagram. But career influencers play a very important role. With that in mind, what are or were some of the unexpected findings from the Diversitas program?
I would say there were several unexpected findings. One was that we've had a lot of guidance counselors attend, so we give them continuing education credit, which that along with food will get most people to show up. But then we found with them that they really did not understand. So this is the people that are advising high school students, but many of them just confessed that we really didn't understand financial planning. And once we explained it to them, once they attended a couple hours of education and understood that it's really a helping profession and that there are so many jobs that don't involve sales or math, although some do, we had several of them say, gosh, I'm going to send all my students into financial planning now who don't know what they want to do. Like students who want to make a difference, maybe want to help, we're going to send them all to financial planning. So that was one big takeaway. Another takeaway was that some of the advisors, so people in the business who showed up, said to me afterwards, I had no idea how rough the numbers were for women in this profession. I had no idea that the number of minorities was so low in this profession. So that was another really a sort of a side impact to it, that we got to influence a lot of advisors and really get them to understand the need for expanding diversity.
Absolutely. Um, so, with that in mind, what resources does Diversitas offer students and employers? I should also say, I think you touched on this too, as well as the career influencers. So, what resources?
Right.
You have three different groups of stakeholders.
We do. We do. So this year, there's actually going to be there in the next, I should say in the next year, there's going to be, I think, approximately four different programs. So there are three interim programs and then one like big master event. And at each of the programs, there are panels. So like one that's coming up actually in 2 weeks is all about internships And so we have a great panel of people who work for large corporations in financial services who actually hire interns. And then we actually have a student who has been an intern. And so you're going to get to hear like, how do you really best structure an internship program? And so like if you're an employer, you should really be listening up. It's not necessarily what you might think. And a lot of these students need a lot of, hand holding, maybe wraparound programs. They might need help with wardrobe. They don't just need mentors, they need advocates. So that's definitely one thing that you get out of these programs. There's also lots of information for advisors. So this is all really about succession. And when I talk about Diversitas, really what it comes down to, so like anyone, so like Rita's a CFP Pro, I'm a CFP Pro. We talk to clients about not outliving their money, right? And that's a sort of a form of succession and what's going to pass to the next generation. Or we might say, hey, in my practice, I have a backup advisor. That's my succession. Um, but to me, diversity and getting more diversity for advisors is all about succession because we have way too many people who are older, who are exiting, and not enough young people. So we need to really expand the pool. And one of the best ways to go is to look for other candidates that might not have been traditional in our world.
Absolutely. Succession planning is really planning for success, right?
It is.
And the other thing I love what you said, succession planning doesn't necessarily mean exit plan,
Mhm.
right? I
Right.
think people hear succession planning, they're like, I don't want to leave. I love this
Too
business.
soon.
Too soon. So I know that you're very passionate about diversity. You're a founding board member and a regular speaker. Why have you chosen to uh, devote your treasured talent to this cause?
Diversitas kind of speaks to my soul because I've been in the business for about 30 years, been a woman, and there have been times it's been really challenging. At our first Diversitas, I had a man come up to me and literally say, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you're a woman. This is like a man's profession, right?" I mean, I couldn't have asked for really a better example of this. So to me, I'm a big believer that clients a lot of times want to work with someone that maybe looks like them. Or young people coming into the business, they want to work with somebody maybe who looks more like them or a member of their family. And so we're not going to do it if it's just all a bunch of, white men or even white women. We need lots of other kinds of people in this business. So it really warms my heart when I can talk to people of all ages about this and explain to them really the case for diversity. That our profession will die actually if we don't have enough of it. I'm a firm believer of that.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to have a sustainable growth plan to have an advisory population that represents and reflects those that we serve.
Right, right.
S- So, what's a fun fact about Diversitas? And what's a fun fact you can share? Because I know you're 6 years old. Um, so, happy birthday, happy anniversary. What's a fun fact you can share about the most recent program?
Thanks, Rita. So a lot of work goes into these programs, as you can imagine. And our last year's program was our first live program in a couple of years. We really wanted it to be great. So we had a morning session where we had students from a number of other universities. So come to the University of Akron, and we had some live speakers, and we had a fun activity that involved technology, and it was some kind of a workshop and was going to teach them something. And a week before the program, the technology speaker had to back out. And we have a couple hundred kids coming to the school. What are we going to do with these kids? So, we had some emergency meetings and we were just really struggling to come up with something that we thought would be fun and appeal to everybody there. And finally, I spoke up. I have a hobby that I took up during the pandemic, and that's rock painting. So, not an artist, but I just enjoy the creativity and I think it spreads joy. So, I kind of said, yeah, this might be a bad idea, but what if we did rock painting for, we would ask the students to paint something about, financial empowerment or diversity or diversitas. And I actually happen to have a couple of them right here in my office. So I have my Investing is for Girls. and I have the future is female. And we ended up with about 250 painted rocks. And I have to tell you that the boys were just as into it as the girls. Everybody was painting rocks. It got really quiet. Everyone was painting. We ended up with a couple hundred rocks that we have now placed all over our community to get the word out again about financial empowerment and, of course, diversity.
I love that. Can we see those rocks again? And what kind of paint do you use?
So this one is the future's female. And then here is investing is for girls. And so the key is to get a rock that's kind of smooth surface. And then you want acrylic paint. And there's, I've discovered Japanese paint pens, which I highly recommend. And then a little bit of acrylic spray. And if you do that, they'll be more weather worthy.
Those are beautiful. I love the inspirational message. So, where can we learn more about the Diversitas program? How can we follow your?
Sure. So Diversitas, which is, by the way, the Latin word for diversity. So Diversitas FP, standing for financial planning, diversitasfp.org. And our website has been expanded dramatically, and you can learn all about upcoming events. You can also see recordings of many of our speakers over the last couple of years. You can see who's on the advisory board, which is some of the biggest, I would say the biggest names in diversity in our business. We've got some really high-powered people on the board. And you can also see we have 24 partner universities now. So big names like Purdue and Texas Tech and Virginia Tech, and a number of historically Black and Hispanic serving institutions as well. So you can see that whole lineup as well as our sponsors. It's a great website that we're really proud of. And I think for anybody in the business, I'll be shocked if you don't see people that you recognize on the website.
Well, thank you for that. And Carina, thank you for all the amazing work you're doing to advance the financial position. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much, Rita. It's my pleasure.
And now back to you.
Well, thank you, ladies. That's just so fantastic, the work you're doing. I'm so thrilled and honored to be able to support that in this small way, but maybe we can help you in some other ways, getting the word out. Just letting people, into the old boys club is really essential, right? So thank you, Miss Rita.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our viewers. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs, producer of Incandescent Radio and Incandescent TV. Thrilled to be producing Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So please tune back in. We will see you all soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being part of our Incandescent Radio and TV family. This is Hope Katz-Gibbs, founder of Incandescent Incorporated, the PR and publishing company for women entrepreneurs. Our Incandescent Radio and TV shows are brought to you by our advertisers and clients. Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, brings us 15 minutes of tips every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live, where you'll meet experts who are helping us flex our financial muscles. Find all of the episodes at margaritacheng.com. You'll also meet intuitive psychotherapist Carina, who interviews therapists and other intuitive guides from around the world. Learn more at carina.com. And you're going to love social justice expert Karen Hanrahan, CEO of the San Francisco-based Glide Memorial Foundation. She bridges the gap from local impact to global change on her thought leadership show on Incandescent Radio. Learn more about Karen at KarenHanrahan.com. You're also going to love Alina Liao, founder of the radical wellness journaling company, ZenitJournals.com. Alina asks, have you tried to journal but found it hard to keep up? Zenit makes it easier to journal for your wellness. With Zenit, you can customize your journal with prompts that speak to you. No more blank pages. Your Zenit is your personalized space to take care of yourself. Website, ZenitJournals.com. Feel it, write it, Zenit. You'll also meet amazing Tracy Schott, founder of Voices for Change. Tracy is determined to change the world and end domestic violence. Learn more at voicesforchange.net. And we are so thrilled to be publishing a book for Angela Mitchell, who is the tech expert of case management. And she's also the founder of this fabulous organization, kids code too. She is determined to teach kids to code computers. Talk about teaching a kid to fish. We invite you to discover and peruse all the Incandescent Incorporated websites, the magazine for women, by women, about women, incandescentwomen.com. Our health and wellness magazine is beincandescent.com, the business of mind, body, spirit, soul, and heart. Our YouTube channel is incandescent.tv, and you can learn about our PR and book publishing services at incandescent.us. If you'd like to have your own radio and video show, check us out at incandescentradio.com, where you can see what we can do for you. These podcasts are also featured on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Our podcasts are produced by Brandy Wilsker. Our videos are produced by Nelson Benavides. Our website developer is Max Cucoy, and our incandescent illustrator and designer is Michael Glenwood Gibbs. If you'd like to learn more, please send me an email, hope@hopegibbs.com. Here is to your incredible, indelible, incandescent success. Much love and many